What is USC's biggest weakness that Michigan needs to exploit to win this game? Matt, you've hit on that, but anything else to grind through on that point?
Yeah, the biggest USC weakness is weakness. USC not being tough enough. If you're Michigan, like, you just come at them with a 100-mile-an-hour fastball right down the middle of the plate. You play country hardball and you say, USC, are you man enough to hold up against us for 60 minutes? Like, that's the way Michigan ought to play this game. And of course, if Michigan can just land that first jab up the gut and establish dominance in the trenches, then Bryce Underwood, I would say, with running plays as well as pass plays, rollouts, and play action can really just put USC in a complete bind. USC struggled to contain mobile quarterbacks. I don't know how many people here on the Michigan channel at the Voice of College Football watched USC play Michigan State in what was a late night game over in Michigan in the Eastern time zone. It would have had to stay up till like 2 a.m. When that game was played. But like, Michigan State didn't run Aiden Childs very much. And I was shocked. Aiden Childs can scoot. He's not very smart. He's not a complete quarterback, but he has wheels. And I was just shocked that a smart guy like Jonathan Smith didn't have Aiden Childs running against USC's very disorganized, very inconsistent defense. So I'm looking for Sharon Moore and his staff to do some designed runs with Underwood, especially if Michigan can establish the power running game between the tackles. You could get USC in a really bad bind. And of course, it's not just about scoring for Michigan. It's keeping Jaden Maiava and that potent USC offense off the field. So Michigan establishes the run between the tackles. Then you have the Underwood running game. You can then mix in play action and maybe the occasional deep shot. Michigan could be attacking USC's defense from so many different angles in this game, and that would set up the Wolverines very nicely on Saturday.
Michigan State should have been running Aiden Childs also because I consider their running back room to possibly be the weakest in the conference. They really don't have anything in the running back room. Another good aspect in regards to Michigan's approach and game plan working is think against Wisconsin had the number one rush defense in the country. Now, do I think that they've got the best rushing defense in the country? No. But do I think it's really good? Yes. With every other issue that Wisconsin has, like no speed at wide receiver, secondary's a mess, no quarterback, no elite running backs like they used to have, all of that, their vintage offensive line, a thing of the past. They do play really good front seven football. And Michigan, they were stopping it, but Michigan keeps hammering away. And before you know it, it's 175 yards rushing, 119 from Justice Haynes. Same thing against Nebraska. They had a top 5 rush defense. Again, do I think they're that good? No, not quite as good as their statistics, but it was a top 25 defense last year against a pretty tough schedule. Nebraska's got a good run defense. Michigan, bam, bam, bam. Then they started to break. They started to break through and start popping those runs. And then Justice Haynes throws up whatever he threw up against Nebraska, 140, 150. And that's what Michigan football is. And even against sturdier defensive fronts to date than what USC has proven, they were still able to hammer away. Of course, USC getting off to a lead would be, and I don't mean like a 1-score lead, but if they could get to a multiple score lead, then you kind of take Michigan out of what they want to do potentially, and that's key as well.
Yeah, in terms of USC's game against Illinois a couple weeks ago, USC got the ball first, was driving inside the Illinois 30, fumbles. And that immediately set the game on the wrong course for USC. And that is one of the constant and legitimate knocks against Lincoln Riley, is that if his offense is not letter perfect or really close to it, the margins are so small with an inadequate, soft defense. And like last year was not the norm for Lincoln Riley at USC, in that the defense was the better unit, the better side of the ball. But this year it's back to offense first. So it also reinforces a point that, if Michigan can force just a couple timely turnovers and create a lot of field goals in the red zone, then the game once again sets up very well for Michigan to win.